Good morning, everybody. It's another day, and we're gonna be getting into some pretty murky waters this morning. And I anticipate some people will be. Um, I think it'll be a split, and I'm not sure about the 50-50, but it'll be a split of people who uh, agree and people who disagree when we are going to talk about this whole idea of dreams and their significance and how much we put emphasis on them and the meanings behind dreams, but more so in regards to Candace Owens. Now, I'm going to relay this point of view because of what she has been espousing, and I'm going to go at it from the aspect of her own words, one, but more so her own representation of what truth is. Okay, okay, cool. Hey, glad you made it home, brother. It was really good seeing you, and was wonderful. It was a wonderful time. Um, so anyway, Miss Owens, some of you may have heard already the statement that she had made, but I want to preface this with something that her people, her own people, are saying about her, and I think you'll understand what I mean because, in her own words, she also sees herself a little bit like this. Now, in the comment section of one of her videos, I noticed something and I had to take a screenshot because this was the video that she was talking about needing a break. Okay. Um, and this comment was so off the wall to me that I couldn't understand it until I heard until I heard Candace herself talk, and then it all made sense. This comment here says 10 days without your input gonna be the longest 10 days in our lives. Stay safe and come back soon. 10 days without your input gonna be the longest 10 days of our lives. Stay safe and come back soon. Now, on the surface, that might look a little bit, just someone missing content. But when you hear exactly why they may have said something like that, I think it'll make more sense to you that she is indeed creating a cult by design, on purpose, accidentally, don't care, don't know, but it's a cult. And it's a pretty gnarly cult too, like one of those cults that just like, what is wrong with these people? Like to the point where they don't listen to what someone is actually saying to them to recognize that it's wrong and that they're lying to you. So I'm going to play for you her own words, and then we will dive into something and show you the correlation of how she sees herself compared to what, and I think where she's actually taking her cues from to talk like this. It's going to be interesting, I think. Okay. I'm going to be just like her today. Mock the way she does her program. Y'all ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this, but let's listen.
All right, you guys. So how are we supposed to honor Charlie, right? You honor Charlie, of course, by donating to Turning Point USA and shutting up and trusting the feds. Don't question anything because it's just not right or whatever.
Now, again, that's her perspective of what she thinks people are saying. Or it could be that Turning Point USA is Charlie's baby. He built it. He built it from the ground up. Maybe people see donating to Turning Point USA as helping, I don't know, Charlie's entity go forward and do what it was supposed to be doing, which was on campus conversations. You see, Candace, not everybody sees the world as dark as you do. And I don't mean the world itself, but not everything is a conspiracy. Some things are just so kind of interesting. But continue.
Shouldn't even question the things that Charlie was questioning, right? The spin is in.
I think you know a lot about spin, and we'll be hearing you spin in a minute. So,
I got really annoyed last night going through. Somebody tagged me and said, "You see, Alex Clark posted," and tried to make it seem like I lied about the new Doge department when I literally shared the email from Charlie.
well, it's not like you don't have a habit of lying now, Candace. I mean, that's been your MO for the last year now. This is the problem. See, when you do tell a lie, people, hear me now, people have the right to not believe you. Little boy crying wolf kind of thing. And just because you share some information that you think is proof does not make it proof. Because so far you've shared stuff that can be taken multiple ways and does not prove your point. It only proves it to you and your minions. See, Turning Point USA is not yours. Okay, let's just get that off the rip. It's not yours. It'll never be yours. It was never a part of their psyche to have you involved in there. You burned that bridge. So you don't get to say who and what and how and why about TPUSA. You don't get that. You can say that about your own entity, but you don't have a say over there. And I think that's what's really getting into your craw. It's not the truth about anything. It's the fact that you're excluded because you genuinely believe that you're God. Why do I say that? You'll see in a minute.
They're even using this kind of like, I call it Christian slop, okay? Because what they're serving up to you is, well, if you're a good Christian, you shouldn't do this. Like they're kind of saying it's demonic. You're possessed by a demon if you want to pursue truth.
No, literally nobody has said that. No one has ever said that you're a demon if you want to pursue truth. People are saying you're a demon and you're demonic because you're attacking somebody and their family after the man's died. It's weird, but you won't let the family mourn in peace. You and your asinine belief structure and your stupidity and your inability to function in reality and your postpartum depression and your drug taking, whatever it is that has you in psychosis, is making it impossible for the family to just be. Has nothing to do with truth because you don't give the truth. You give spin. But we could change your name to Top and would fit. Not only that, the demonic side of you has been showing up for forever now. Going back to 2022, you remember you used to say that hip hop and rap music is the demise of the Black culture because it promotes debauchery. Remember when you used to say that? Do you remember that? And then comes 2022, and there's a halftime show for the Super Bowl, and you praise it as Black excellence while there are people half naked in front of children and dancing on stripper poles. You remember when you called that Black excellence? Because you are demonic, Candace. I don't know how else. You are a demon. You are vile. The thing you just told people was so destructive. You are praising as excellence. That makes you a demonic person. I don't know what else you want people to think of you, but that's what you are. You're demonic. So they're right.
Said literally no one ever but Satan incarnate.
So by that measure, you're calling people who didn't say anything like that demonic because you think they think that, even though they never said anything like that. You just put your own ideology on people having never said something like that. You just feel they think that, and now they are Satan incarnate. Amazing.
Okay. Truth is truth. It is always appropriate.
I'm glad you said that. Truth is truth. It is always appropriate. So why haven't you been telling the truth? If the truth is always appropriate, why do you lie? Why have you been lying? Why do you keep lying? Why aren't you honest then? You said truth is truth and it's supposed to be out there, so, but you ain't doing that. You've been caught in multiple lies and you keep double downing on it. You keep lying. So, what does that make you? Demonic? I believe that makes you demonic, doesn't it? By your own, of course, definition, not mine.
Another one of these talking points that are coming out is people are doing this for clicks. They're motivated by money.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Now, mind you, it's not that they're covering Charlie Kirk for money. They're covering a very specific angle of Charlie Kirk for money. Like you. You know, like you do, you're doing it for funds. Now, you'll hear what I mean by she is demonic in a second here, because she'll tell you exactly how she feels about abusing and using Charlie Kirk's death for clout. She'll tell you. You ready?
Do you guys understand the tens of millions of dollars that Turning Point USA made in the 2 weeks following Charlie Kirk's assassination?
It should, because it's his company. If I die and Straight Talk goes through the roof, hear me out. It just goes, whoom, rockets off. Everybody flocks to the channel. And all the videos just go viral. I would be fine with that because my family would be the one benefiting from it. If other people make money on my death because of how I died or something like that, that'd be exploitation. My own platform making money? Are you ridiculous? My own platform making money is now a problem for you because you're not, but you're the one exploiting everything about the man's legacy. Everything about it, you're exploiting.
It would be insane for a person to suggest that if a random guy on YouTube catches 1 million views discussing ballistics, which there have been many gun guys who have done videos on ballistics and caught 1 million views, that's somehow immoral because they're maybe going to make $10,000 if they keep that up for an entire month. Like, that is insane. And it actually relies on financial literacy to think that that's immoral. Good for them. Good for them. If you have a small account and you somehow got 1 million views because you told the truth, then bless you.
See? Now, what is her version of truth? Her version of truth is anything that aligns with what she believes. So if a smaller platform makes 1 million views off of something to do with Charlie, then that's good. That's okay. As long as it's the truth. Now, again, if the person says that Charlie was shot by somebody in a building across the street and ballistics prove it, and it's definitely the guy that they have in custody, oh, that's not truth. That's the propaganda. But if you make money off of saying that it wasn't him and it was Israel, that's truth, and that's okay to do. No proof to it, just truth to it. It's just truth. Now, who else operates like that? Who else operates like that? Let me read to you, and you can tell me if you see the similarities in what she's trying to push herself as. Listen to this carefully. In John chapter 8, it says this in verse 37. I know that you are Abraham's descendants. He's talking to, of course, the Pharisees and Sadducees here. but you seek to kill me, because my word has no place in you. I speak what I have seen with my father, and you do not have, and you do what you have seen with your father. They answered and said to him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said to them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do what the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth, which I heard from God. Abraham did not do this. You do the deeds of your father. Then they said to him, we were not born of fornication. We have one father, God. Jesus said to them, uh, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceed from God. Nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. Does that sound an awful lot like how Candace talks about herself? Just answer my question. Does that sound an awful lot like how Candace is trying to portray herself? I am the truth. 10 days without your truth is going to really hurt us. It's going to be the longest days of our life. We can't live without your truth, Candace. We need to have you around to tell us the truth and to lead us in the way, Candace. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and he does not stand in truth because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks his own resource, for he is a liar and the father of it. Because I tell you the truth, you won't believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear because you are not of God. Sounds like she's trying to put herself in that position, isn't she? You don't believe me because you are of Satan. I'm just telling the truth, and the truth is always the truth, and it is always necessary. So listen to me because I have the truth. No one else has the truth, just me. She has put herself on the same plane as Jesus. I consider that pretty crazy work. She is dealing with herself as though there is no wrong that she has ever or will ever, can ever do. And if you don't believe her, you are of Satan because she has the truth. Now, here comes the crux of the conversation so you can hear for yourself how she really sees herself compared to people.
Yes, yes, yes. Who will succeed Charlie Kirk? Who shall inherit the Turning Point throne? You know what, you guys? The best part of all of this for me is, unlike those ill-begotten heirs on the show, I have a 0% interest in Charlie's empire.
If you really had a 0% interest in Charlie Kirk's empire, you wouldn't be concerned with what Charlie Kirk's empire was doing. You see, again, right off the rip, lying. I have zero interest in his empire. But from the day he died, y'all are not going to usurp his empire. I am not going to allow it. Just random people are not just going to take over TPUSA. I was one of the Masons. She put herself in a position to want to be in the place to talk about the position. Now she's saying, I have no desire for that. I wonder who the father of lies has for kids these days. You might be one of them. But you have no interest, right? Of course not. I mean, you don't care what happens there at all, right? You don't. Okay.
I'm not motivated by the idea of carrying on his torch. Not for a single moment did I think any person could carry on his torch.
Really? Because, like I said, you said otherwise. In your own words, you said otherwise. You said you were one of the Masons and they would not be able to go on without you. They're trying to kick you out of it. That's what you said. Not us. You did that. You from the beginning put yourself into the conversation as being one of the names of the people that should be considered. You did that. Now all of a sudden you don't care? Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed.
If you thought you could, you clearly did not know Charlie Kirk. Charlie was, in fact, an anomaly.
I'm glad you said that because you thought you could. And so you're the weird one. I'm glad you're calling yourself out on this video. That's amazing. I'm glad finally something is starting to snap. Maybe no.
In the system. That happens rarely, and yeah, I don't know that I will live to see another person like him. I want you guys to know something. I want to share this with you. You can take it or you can leave it, but Charlie was betrayed.
Charlie was betrayed. Now I want you all to listen to this new. This is her new stuff now. First, it was a foreign entity that was his enemy. Then it was another foreign entity, and then it was a local entity. But now it's somebody really close to him that betrayed him. For somebody who knows the truth so much, she sure has an odd way of nailing it down. Like, the truth does not seem to abide in her. It just seems to be there. And she just kind of goes and looks at it once in a while and says, oh, I think it's still there. Get ready for what she's about to say. Really.
I know this. I've known this really since the first second, but.
Okay, now make sure you log that. Make sure you, what? Log it. Log it. Oh, I see Mr. Jay Witt is in here. Greetings, sir. Thank you for joining my podcast. You are. And I am honored that you're here. Make sure you log what she just said. Make sure you just listen to what she just said. Okay, I'm going to back it up. I don't want to misquote the lady.
Since the first second, but
I rarely... Say it again. What that?
I've known this really since the first second.
I knew this from the first second. Wow. I wonder what she could have known from the first second. Let's find out. Let's find out what she knew. She knows this from the first second. What is it? Candace, tell us.
But I rarely have vivid dreams. And I did, in fact, have a very vivid one over the weekend. In fact, the last time that I had a super vivid dream, I was pregnant. It tends to happen a lot to women.
Okay, hold on. I'm confused. Maybe y'all are confused as I am. I am confused as to whether it rarely happens or it happens all the time, whether it was vivid or not vivid, or I'm confused. I'm gonna back it up again because this is not spliced together, people. I'm not splicing this. This is her concurrent thought process coming out of her mouth. So I gotta back it up to it. So what I establish, I think, is that she's talking about that she knew from the beginning that he was betrayed. I'm assuming that's what she believes from the first second, is that he was betrayed. From the instant the bullet struck him, betrayal. She knew it. The instant Charlie was betrayal, she knew it. Okay, so let's that I'm assuming that's what she's saying because she's not very clear.
You can leave it, but Charlie was betrayed.
Okay, cool.
I know this. I've known this really since the first second, but I rarely have vivid dreams.
Okay, you rarely have them. Okay.
And I did, in fact, have a very vivid one over the weekend. In fact, the last time that I had a super vivid dream, I was pregnant. It tends to happen a lot.
Okay. So it's rare, but it tends to happen a lot. That's not the definition of rare, is it? Last I checked, no. Okay, hold on. Unless you're saying for people, it happens a lot. And just for you, it's rare. See, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
To women when they're pregnant. But
Okay, so to women when they're pregnant. Let me ask the women in the audience here, real quick. And I know we have quite a few women who have had kids. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever get prophetic when you were pregnant? Did you get, like, was it for you to just get prophetic all of a sudden when you got pregnant? How many of you were prophetic while you were pregnant? Just say yes. I was prophetic when I got pregnant. In fact, all of my pregnancies, I became prophetic, and all kinds of things and entities visited me in my dreams when I became pregnant. Please tell me by an answer, please. I mean, I know there are a few of you. Just tell me. I mean, I have a wife, and she's been pregnant quite a few times. She never became prophetic. You would think it would scratch off at least one out of the four times, or you would think that, but no, that didn't happen. But it happens all the time, often. So far, no one, none of you. Candy's an anomaly, and she knows a bunch of anomalies too.
in that dream from 2023, my former producer of the show and I were standing in the control room, and she told me that she was 26 weeks pregnant. This is in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me exactly what month the baby was coming. I asked her in the dream, is it a boy? Is it a girl? And she said, it's a boy. I woke up and I immediately texted my producer in real life and I said, hey, you're pregnant, just so you know, it's a boy. And then she found out that she was pregnant 1 week later. She had no idea when I texted her. And
so you lied? I'm confused. Anyway, continue.
something that we reflected on a couple of months later because she was just totally shocked looking back on it. And this is our text chain from, you can see, 2023. She said, you texted me June 16th, and I think I got pregnant June 26th. This is crazy. And it's going.
You texted me on the 16th, and I got pregnant on the 26th. Okay. But the dream said she was already pregnant, and you called her and told her that she was pregnant. Okay.
Maybe a boy, it's nuts. I said, I'm telling you, your baby visited me. It was an insanely vivid dream. He was on his way. And she said, that is so bizarre. My mom also texted me that week saying that she had a dream I was pregnant. I said, I haven't had a dream that vivid since. It's been my only vivid dream this entire pregnancy.
But you said it happens often. Oh, okay.
I believe people can communicate in dreams on their way in and on their way out of this world.
So let me ask the obvious elephant in the room question. Where's the Bible on that? Can you just hey, you communicate with the dead? Is that what you're saying? You communicate with the dead? This is where I'm going to tell people they're going to get mad at me, and you can be mad. It's okay. Where in the book does it say that we communicate with spirits of the dead? The last person I saw did that was who was that guy? Saul. Saul was that guy, right? A bunch of divinations and stuff. Odd, but she communicates with the dead, no problem. And she thinks it's normal to communicate with the dead and see dead people and have them communicate with you and talk to them. I know many diviners that say that, tons of them. I know people that practice witchcraft that think that, and I know people that practice divination that believe that. My only question is, where in the word, since she says she's a Christian, can you find that? Where can you find that? Just tell me. I mean, I'm sure it's out there somehow. I'm sure it's out there. Maybe you can assist me, Candace, because I'm kind of confused as to how you say you can, and everybody does it when they're pregnant, especially. Have at it. Do what you must do, Judas. I don't care. Do what you got to do. I thought, but before you go, can you mind telling me? I thought you're one of the people that loved questions. Isn't that the Candace way? Always ask questions. Make sure you ask questions, but just not about your God, right? Don't question my God, because my God is going to get you and get you good. See what I told you about her worshipers? They're here. They're here. The worshipers of Candace Owens have arrived. And you better not talk ill about my God, because if you talk ill about my God, he going to get you. He's going to get you. My God is going to get you. Here it is. Respect Candace Owens, you filthy grifter. Respect my God. Respect it. My God, respect him. Candace is the truth. She is the way, the light. You just don't understand. Mm, wow. Oh, you email sent to law enforcement and YouTube about me inciting violence. Good luck with that too. I just sent me an email. Send me an email, brother. Send me an email, and I will definitely look into doing that for you, brother. Yes, sir. There's the email down below. But you see what I mean about my title making sense now. You don't talk about my God. You leave my God alone. I will get you reported if you talk about my God anymore. My God talks the truth. You should listen to my God. My God has dreams just like Jesus did. He tells the truth. Don't you question my God. She's their idol. She has put herself as the holy order of Owens. Yeah. Listen to the rest. Holy Order of Owens. Charlie was betrayed. He was betrayed. Listen, if you have dreams that just pop up on you, let me advise you something. Don't just automatically believe what is happening in your dreams as though it's from God. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. That is one of the biggest problems we have today. Everybody has a vision and they want to see something from God, and they know it's from God because it agrees with something that they believe. That's Candace. She says she got some revelation that Candy herself got this revelation that, look, listen to you. I saw him. I saw him. He was vivid as all get out, and he told me he was betrayed. Betrayed. I want you to hear the rest of it real quick, okay? I'm going to have you listen to the rest of what she had to say. Because when you hear it, good Lord, when you hear it, what? The mental stuff? Listen up to this one.
I said, I haven't had a dream that vivid since. It's been my only vivid dream this entire pregnancy. I believe people can communicate in dreams on their way in and on their way out of this world.
Yeah.
I similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed.
Yeah. Now listen carefully. Charlie showed up specifically. Just so happens, listen to me, it just so happens that he showed up that week to tell her something that she said she should have known, because remember, she was privy to all the information long before he died. Remember, that's what she said, right? She had text exchanges. She talked to him. She knew about the bribes. She knew about the threats. Long before he died, she knew about this. Okay? She knew. That's what she said, not me. She said that she knew. She knew. And somehow it took Charlie weeks to show up in a dream to tell her that he was betrayed, to convince her that he was betrayed. Continue, though.
And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that.
Oh, okay. You believe that he showed up, or you believe that he was betrayed? Which is it? Which is it? Do you believe that he was betrayed, or you believe that he should? What do you actually believe? What do you believe? And what do we not have to believe? I mean, we don't believe you. We don't need your permission to not believe you, by the way, just so you know. Um, we don't believe you because you're a lying sack of crap. I just want to be one of the few to say it out loud. You're a mess. You lie all the time. What continues? What else you got to say?
And it was the immediate sense I got, actually. And
Hold on. It was the immediate sense. Why wouldn't you get that sense if he told you outright I was betrayed? Huh? Listen, Candace, listen. Is it something that you inferred, something that you thought you dreamt, or was it a dream that you actually got? And he did say, I was betrayed. What sense are you getting? If you said he said it, then it's not a sense. It's a statement made by a dead guy.
I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed. That
Hold on. Okay, stop. No, Chris, leave it alone. I want that to be here for posterity. We need to keep them here. Again, these particular people prove the point of the video. They prove it. People like the one talking about the FBI and the FBI this and the FBI is watching. Here's the problem. You ready for this one? You ready? I think you'll love this part. Let me find that line. I want to find that line. Okay, watch me. Hear me out. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? Her own God told DCC not to trust the FBI. Yet this moron goes to call the FBI about somebody. Hear me out. Her own God told her not to trust the FBI because the FBI was in on it. The CIA, FBI were in on killing Charlie, and this moron decides to go report something to the FBI to get something done for them. How stupid are her followers? Apparently, that stupid. Apparently, they are that remedial. It also proves they don't actually listen. They don't listen. Their two brain cells have been COVID social distancing since the day of their birth. They don't rub together. They don't spark. Nothing. Ain't no brainwave activity happening up in them head. Nothing. Not a spark. Long before Fauci, their brain cells were social distancing. Not one synapses was fired. Not a thing. Your God told you, don't trust the FBI. They set up Charlie Kirk. Your ridiculous behind goes to call them. Now, mind you, not only are you calling them after your people said don't trust them, you're calling them, listen to me, you're calling them on somebody who agrees with them, hoping that they will do something to me and my platform. Let me get this right. I'm disagreeing with the one person that hates them. You think they're going to come after me because I'm talking about an idiot that they don't like either? Okay. Yeah, y'all are super intelligent. I mean, what brain cells? Woo! Quick. Wow, y'all are good.
There is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Take it to the bank. Quote her on that. That's what she said. Take it to the bank. Quote her on that. Okay. Take it to the bank. So here's my question to the liar. To the liar. Are the international people going to pay for it? Is it going to be Egypt? Is it going to be Israel? Is it going to be the UN? Is it going to be Russia? Is it going to be Qatar? Who's going to be the implicated person here? Is it going to be Donald Trump? Is it going to be Turning Point USA? Is it going to be Erica Kirk? Who? That's my biggest question. I mean, you've implicated everybody. So really what you're doing is hedging your bets. You're trying to pretend as though you're some kind of mystical minded person, but what you're really doing is just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. And when it does stick, you'll be like, huzzah! Hey, look, they'll be the next one she blames. You know why? Because she got banned from Australia. She go, okay, I'm with you. That she gonna have a conspiracy here in the next few videos that Australia is also in on it, and they have something to do with the death of Charlie Kirk because they don't want her talking. Look, she will say just about anything to stay relevant. She will. Now, I do anticipate a lawsuit coming to her. I'm going to say it again. I think she's going to get sued, especially by Mr. Hammer. Now, again, I want to show you all another tweet that she sent out, okay? And this is for everybody who likes to tell us that Candace is not a hater of the Jews. She's just a hater of Israel. That's what y'all love to tell me. Okay, that's your famous, happiest line ever is that no, you just don't understand. She does not hate the Jews. She only hates Israel, the government. Okay, let's find this particular tweet here. Because I want you to read for yourself her own words. Now remember, she's a very, very, very particular person when it comes to wording, right? That's what she says. Very particular. Cool. So let's see if she's as particular as we think she is. This is what she says. Y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready for this. I don't think you're ready for this. You're a liar. You're a liar. Here we go. Ready? Now remember, y'all say she don't hate Jews. She just hates Israel. They hate white people and they routinely threaten black people. Does Israel do that? No. Okay. Who refuse to behave in the way that they demand. Contracts and lawfare. We are all tired of it. So what is she talking about? Josh Hammer, who happens to be a what? A Jew. Huh. And what did he tweet? Jew hatred is inherent in the European DNA. Europe will never change. Jew hatred is inherent in the collective DNA. I am Jewish proudly. I advocate every single day of my life for the Jewish people and for the Jewish state of Israel. Did Candace make a differentiation between the Jews and the nation government of Israel? No. And you will see it in her absolute abhorrent directional statements towards Jesus himself. A rabbi told her, listen, Jesus was a Jew. We've covered this. No, he wasn't. He's king though, but he wasn't a Jew. No. Look, I understand that y'all may not like the fact that somehow the Jews are his chosen people, and you can have your fights all day about what type of Jews they are. If they're this kind of Jew, is it the new kind of Jew, a different Jew than was in the Bible? All I know is this: listen to me carefully. His people are still around. And you know who does know who they are? He does. And you know what's completely possible? For a Jew by birth to become a Christian. You know who else did that? Yeah, all of them. All of the disciples did that. Isn't that kind of weird? Paul, like kingpin Jew, captain of the Jews. He's Jewish. He's a Jewy Jew. Okay, Jewy Jew gave the gospel to the Gentiles. Peter, Jewy Jew, gave the gospel to the Jews. Weird, but they never stopped being Jews. Candace is indeed, and I will say this unequivocally, Candace hates everything that even remotely resembles God because she follows the faith, the one faith that has more respect for Mary than Jesus. She can say all day long, Jesus, Christ is king. She can say that all day long. Christ is king all day long. But then she'll go into her closet and pray to Mary. Then she'll go and have a dude on a chair on a stage that she has to report to for all of her sins and go confess them to them. She will talk to a man about her sins and call him father, but Christ is king, right? She hated the fact that Charlie revered Jesus as Lord and Savior. She hated that. She wanted him to be more respectful to Mary as a deity. She has her own cult. She is satanic. And she follows all of the mantras of the Roman Catholic Church. And she does not want to ever expose them for anything they do because she loves what they do. She's fine with what they do. When was the last time you heard Candace talk about trafficking? I mean, since she became a Catholic, that is. Hmm? Haven't. It's been off the table, hasn't it? Has she talked about the trafficking done by the Vatican? No. But she's always wanting to talk about everything else. Satan is her pops, her commander. And if there is anything and any doubt in my mind, she has erased it with this dream concept. Either you knew beforehand, like you've been saying, that Charlie was betrayed by people closest to him. You said that from the beginning, right? And all of a sudden now you get a dream saying that same thing, and that you believe it now. You didn't know it before, but now you know it because he said it. But you've been saying that's what happened. Here's what I think happened, Candace. You had it in your head, and a dream happened to confirm what you want to believe. And now you attribute that as some miraculous thing. You know what? You are batting 50-50 with the person getting pregnant, especially considering that they got pregnant after you told them. After you told them is when they got pregnant. And it's a 50-50 shot that it's a boy or a girl. Heck, I've been pretty accurate. In fact, I've only been wrong once about people having kids and what they were going to have. Does that make me a soothsayer? A prophet like you? I didn't have a dream though, and I also wasn't pregnant, so that takes mine off the table maybe. I've had friends pregnant and I said, "Oh, it's going to be a boy." How do I know it? Just a guess. A strong guess. It's going to be a boy. It's going to be a girl, and I'm right. Maybe I should start marketing myself as a prophet of birthing so I can tell everybody what they're going to have. You come to me, you pay a fee, and I'll tell you what you're going to have. Because I'm pretty good at guessing, man. Whoa. It's not guessing. Sorry. I am prophetic in my delivery of what child you're going to have. Anybody out there pregnant right now? Let me tell you what you're going to have. You ready? Pay me first, though. I want you to pay me $1,000 up front, and I'll tell you what you're going to have. You ready? This is what I would do. As soon as I get that $1,000, this is what I'll say. You're going to have either a boy or a girl. Profit. Bam. I am good at this, man. Look, at that rate, I'll be batting 100. You'll be having either a boy or a girl. Now, depending on which one comes out, that's the one you're going to have. Thank me later. Thank me later. I'm a prophet. I mean, for Candace, it's a PROFIT that she is, but that's different. I mean, but on a serious note, remember that she's espousing Christianity. That's one. And in the same breath as Christianity, she's espousing divination. I want you to understand the cultish ideology behind it. In the same breath that she is doing something that she says is godly, she introduces to her followers divination. The same exact behavior that Saul had, she is doing. Therein lies the biggest danger of her platform. In the spiritual world, it is crazy work what she is doing. To be associating truth with the devil. I'm going to read it again. Let's read it again. Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God, nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech, Candace? That's kind of strange that you don't understand what I'm saying. Because you are not able to listen to my word. You're not hearing me. Why is no one listening to me? You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. It's satanic not to believe what I'm believing. If you keep pushing the stuff that's not what I believe, that's satanic. Goes on. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father is what you do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth. People who don't believe what I believe would have murdered Charlie Kirk anyway. And you're okay with these people murdering Charlie Kirk. Her own words, by the way, not mine. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. If you don't believe me, you're a liar. You're lying on Charlie's legacy. Charlie was converting. Charlie was this. Charlie was that. I know because I'm speaking the truth. You don't believe me because you believe a lie, because the Satan is your father. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. You've heard her say that before? Tell me you have not heard her say that before. You've heard her say that before multiple times. Who else quotes the Bible proficiently? Remember when the devil went to tempt Jesus? Oh, he had all kinds of scriptures with him, didn't he? All kinds of scriptures he had with him. Which of you convicts me of sin? How can you prove me wrong? Candace will say. He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear because you are not of God. That's exactly what she just finished saying. It's satanic not to believe her. According to the order of the Holy Owens, if you do not believe her, you are of the devil. She is usurping the authority and type of Christ for herself. She thinks she's untouchable. She thinks she's it. She's the arbiter of truth to the point where now she's having visions. And that's supposed to codify, solidify, exemplify how truthful she is. Like, y'all can take all the political stuff and deal with it that way. That's one way to deal with it, obviously, political. But understand this is far worse than just political rhetoric. What she is doing on the spiritual side by assimilating things of scripture and putting divination behind it is not just dangerous, it's blasphemous. At the same time, you espouse a religion that's straight from the pits of hell. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. And as you saw from her own follower, only Candace can say something. And if you question anything that has to do with Candace, you are worthy of death. You want to know how I know that's what they think? You ready for this? And you can put this one in a clip all you want. Make sure you all clip this one. The woman and person that came in here defending Candace, saying they were going to report me to the FBI, and they love them some Candace, would want me dead because they believe that the FBI killed Charlie. The FBI that's capable of killing somebody, they reported me to them. What does that tell you about what they want? You see my point? Do you see my point? You say they're dangerous, don't trust them. But you report somebody you don't like to them. To what ends? To what ends would you report somebody to the FBI that ended the life of your friend? Man, all I'm saying, I'm just going based on your statements. That's all. Y'all be careful with this lady. I understand it is very appealing. How she delivers is amazing. Her research seems very spot on because she connects all kinds of dots to things that you would never have connected dots to, even though they don't even remotely connect, but they sound good to sound like they connect. She will use time frames and lies to make them sound like the truth, like just like she did with the Provo plane from Egypt, right? You see, it was 1 o'clock, just about right after Charlie died. That makes sense, doesn't it? Then you were wrong about the time, but you still pushed the same ideology that you had based on the time, even though the time is off. Divination. Mental games, the same way she's trying to now make you believe that dreams are coming to her from God. And even Charlie is walking amongst her mind and talking to her to tell her to find justice for me. He's now able, right? Your brother's blood calls out to me from the ground. You don't think the devil knows scripture? He knows scripture. But hey, to each his own. Ain't nobody trying to tell you what to believe. Ain't nobody. You do what you got to do. If it's appealing to you, follow it. Go ahead. But here's a catcher. If at the end of all your listening, you get screwed, you can't blame nobody but yourself, bro. Nobody, just you. You're the only one to blame. And make sure you blame yourself. Make sure you hold on to that. And you, man, what run with that? Run with it. Go for it. All your chest, too. The same way you ran with it before. When you find out it's a problem, say it with your chest, too. Or humble yourself and repent. Humble yourself and repent for following witchcraft, divination, and lies. I'll tell you this, if Charlie was of the belief that he says he was, justice for his death is not what he would look for. He wouldn't care. He even said before, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I go to a better place. The downside for me, there is none. There is no doubt. He even said this. He said this out loud. There's no downside to me dying. I have prepped myself for that. If Charlie has prepped himself for that, how does Candace get to go against the man's ideology about his salvation? She's doing it for clicks. He is content. Trust me. If Charlie really was living what he said, trust and believe me, Charlie don't care nothing about justice for his death. He went to be where he wanted to be anyway. And for those of you complaining about the crying woman and the wife not crying, y'all just don't seem to understand that if she's content also that he is also in a good place, why would she be crying? Why would she need tears? And if she does have tears, it'd be partial tears of joy that her husband is exactly where they've always been planning for him to be. The circumstance, tragic, yeah. But the joy of the fact that he is with his father is very elated. She should be. Very elated. We should all be happy if we are here telling ourselves that we are believers. When one of us dies, it should be a moment of rejoicing because we have now moved from one aspect of knowing God to the next. We'll mourn for a period because, yeah, we missed them. But they knew God, and they're now apart from this world to mess with anything to do with the relationship. It's done. That leg is over. In any case, people are so dead set on becoming the one that can tell a truth that they don't care whether or not it's the truth. It's just a version of truth. It's a lie, but they'll push it. In any case, we'll be back tomorrow. Um, we'll be talking about the Tony Evans issue tomorrow because I have a very different take on that. Very different. I have not heard anybody else with a take like I'm going to have, but we will be discussing the Tony Evans reinstatement, I guess is what you would call it, or his rededication. Okay. We'll be talking about that because I have a very different view about it completely. But it's not against me. I mean, I'm not going against the Bible. It's about the Bible. Thank you for getting my name right. Game over, 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 over. Game over, game over, game over. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's a weird thing. People like this particular individual. You know what? I wanna see something real quick. Just a curious mind. Oh, look at that. They joined in 2021. You ready for the poem they have on their platform? You ready for this one? This is great. This is great stuff. I'm glad I checked this out. I'm so glad I checked this out. Before I leave, I have to. I must. We must share this, guys. This is important. This is so important. I can't tell you how important this is. This is one. Save that. And then part two is beautiful. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, good. Right there. Okay, get that too. And trust me, it's worth the wait, people. It is worth the wait. Trust me, it's worth the wait. You know me. I don't like playing them games, but sometimes the games are fun. All right, let's take a look at something, shall we? And I think this will be very eye opening for y'all. Really, it will be. Very, very eye opening. Okay. Part one of their statements on their own page. Okay. This is a poem that they have up on their YouTube page. Okay. The so called DC, whatever number that is. Uh, Feels like fire. I'm so in love with you. Dreams are like angels. They keep bad at bay, bad at bay. Love is the light, scaring darkness away. Yeah, I'm so in love with you. Purge the soul. Make love your goal. The power of love, a force from above, cleaning my soul. Flame on burnt desire. Love with tongues on fire. Purge the soul. Make love your goal. I'll protect you from the hooded claw. Keep the vampires from your door. When the chips are down, I'll be around my undying, death defying love for you. Envy will hurt itself. Let yourself be beautiful. I can see why this person follows Candace. Sparkling love, flowers and pearls and pretty things, pretty girls. Love is like an energy rushing, rushing inside of me. Yeah. The power of love, a force from above, cleaning my soul, flame on burnt desire. Love with tongues on fire, purge the soul, make love your goal. This time we go sublime. Lovers entwine, divine, divine. Love is danger, love is pleasure. Love is pure, the only treasure. I'm so in love with you. Purge the soul, make love your goal. Oh. Gothic, quite gothic. So gothic, man. If you wrote that, you have a talent for writing crap. I mean, you are an amazing crap writer. You're good at writing crap. Look, bravo, bravo, bravo. If mankind could write crap like that more often, we wouldn't need toilets because we could be by osmosis transfer our bowel movements into our penmanship and just wrap the paper up and throw it away. The amount of crap that you put on that paper was equivalent to a massive bowel movement after eating Taco Bell. Like, what? That was amazing. I think you have a breakthrough on your hands. You might be skipping out on millions. Hear me out. I'm trying to help you out. You could market crap writing. And here's how you'd say it. I could help you take a dump anywhere without going to the bathroom. Just write like me. Bowel movement. Bam. Never need toilet paper. You put toilet paper manufacturers out of business. Toilet out of business. You won't need an out of business. DC, you're one in a million. You are missing out on a golden opportunity to market poop by osmosis. I'm telling you, that's the title. Poop by osmosis. And in the fine print, through the pen. Bam! You are welcome. You are welcome. You're welcome. I knew I could help people, man, and I'm helping thousands figure out their life. Oh, you're a dummy. Go ahead and report that to the FBI too. I think they're gonna get a kick out of it. They might write you back and say, "Yo, that was funny, man. Thank you." Anyway, I needed that laugh today too, as well, Diane. Now, listen, hear me. Yesterday was horrible, and I can say it. Yesterday was horrible. It was horrible. Um, so after the live, pretty much the house, second top floor. It's an old house, kitchen, busted pipe. So I had to spend the day trying to clean up a flooded upstairs and a flooded downstairs, and let's just say that things are just, what? Yeah. So if you guys ever want to know what to pray for this, please, that we find somewhere to be. Because we only have so much longer in this particular spot that we're at, and there's nothing available. We have until March. I'll tell you that much. So if you know of a place somewhere, because there's nothing where we are, and it's all outside of our range. Um, so I can tell you it's a little disconcerting. I can't say I'm worried yet, but I am. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting to the worrying. And I think I told you all I may have to get some kind of a job or something like that, regular job. I don't know if I mentally or physically can handle it on a consistent basis, but it's not an if. I will might have to. And I do understand. This is a trust test. I get it. Um, that doesn't mean I'm going to pass with flying colors. Just being honest, it don't mean I'll pass with flying colors. I'm going to try to. Anyway, so today no flood. A friend of mine showed up and he figured out what it was. The ceiling was pretty much corroded with that busted pipe, and he fixed the pipe, and now we just have other things to worry about. Hey, look, we have no idea where. Really, we don't. Um, it's not like I got a whole lot of resources to just load up everything and dip anyway. So it's a whole lot of moving parts that I just don't have the answers to. Um, I think people get a weird idea about podcasting is that you're rich beyond your wildest dreams. It is a cutthroat game out there, especially when people mess with your algorithm like YouTube. Um, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, scrolling to the bottom, you know what to do. No, no, I will not. I will not do Tacoma. No, no. Mm. Even though you're there and that's beautiful, I've seen Tacoma, and the cost of living in Tacoma to here, there's no change. The price of rent, no change, and the environment is worse. So no, there's no upside to Tacoma at all. No. The wet side, there are places I will not move to. I will not. I can tell you that because of the environment. Cities, mm-mm. No, no, no. Not for the sake of my kids. I ain't doing that. I'm good. Anyway, scrolling at the bottom, you know what to do. Not a necessity. Um, you converse with God about it. Um, affordable. Affordable for what I make consistently. And what I make consistently on disability is not a whole lot. So it's a pretty, you know, yeah, it's rough. It is rough. In any way, love y'all. Mean it. We'll be back tomorrow. Tony Evans on the discussion board. Um, and make sure you check out the videos that we dropped on both sides. Okay? Love y'all. Mean it. Wisdom calls to you from the street. So please, please, please find wisdom. Peace.
Hold tight the dreams for if